Good morning, Kasturians, and welcome to video 3 of chapter Displacing Indigenous People. In the last video, in the previous video, we have seen the comparison between the American natives and the Europeans, and we saw the striking differences between the two, where the American natives they were simple and they were open hearted for the Europeans. They assessed what they got as a gift, whereas the Europeans they were highly commercial people, they were shrewd and cunning also. They considered each and everything and according to its commercial value, and they were highly civilized, whereas these natives of America they were uncivilized, but still they were enjoying the privileges. They were close to nature, but the nature of the Europeans it was totally dependent upon money. In this video we will see the comparison for the gold rush and the growth of industries. So it was in the decades of 1840s that the gold was found partly. Actually, the traces of gold were found in the USA, in California, and ultimately it resulted to the gold rush. That is when thousands of eager Europeans they hurried to America in the hope of making quick money or creating quick fortune for them. The Europeans they started to migrate to California, and this is known as the gold rush. The result was the building of railway lines across the continent, and to supply the railway equipment to such fast expanding railway network, the industries they were developed. Also to produce the machinery for making large scale farming easier, machine production it increased, and employment generation led to the growth of towns and factories. As we already know and we have discussed in other chapters also, that it is the flourishing industries that help to develop new cities, in fact new towns and new factories. So it was in the very beginning, that is in the starting of 1860, USA was underdeveloped and it was having a economically low profile. But later on, after 30 years, that is by 1890, it was the leading industrial power in the world, and it all happened due to the gold rush. The constitutional rights in North America, there was always a controversy whether the rights should be given to the natives or not, or it is the settlers for whom the rights will be prepared. So the British colonies in America they declared a war against England in 1776 to gain independence, and this war of independence of the colonies it continued till 1783. That is for 7 long years the war continued. As a result, the democratic rights, that is the democratic spirit which had been the rallying cry of the settlers in their right for independence in the decades of 70s, it came to define the identity of USA against the monarchies and aristocracies of the old world. That is, the settlers when they came, they settled, it led to rise of the new cities or towns, and in these cities or towns the influence of the aristocracy and the monarchy it was less felt as compared to the countryside. The result was the natives they were denied the democratic rights, that is the right to vote for representatives to Congress and for the president. But why it happened? It was because it was only for the white people, and most of the settlers which settled there, they were blacks. So discriminative policy was adopted, and the whites, they were given privilege over the blacks to participate in the election process or to vote for their representatives to the Congress. Second was the right to property. The concept of private property, it emerged, and the people, they wanted that the constitution, they hoped that this constitution, in this, the individual's right to property will also be included, which the state could not override, that is, the state cannot deny. But this right to property was exclusively given only to the whites. This infuriated, and ultimately the history faced a situation of war, and civil war, it broke out. Under the British rule, Indians also suffered such a fate, as the Britishers, they were Europeans. So the Indians, they were bound to pay heavy taxes, that is, they were taxed arbitrarily, and they were not seen as not equal, not ready for responsibility of representative governments. Second is the natives in America and Australia. The natives of the America and Australia, they were also not treated as citizens, and hence they were not given equal privileges like the whites. The rationalization was primitive, as in no settled agriculture provision for the future or provision for the towns was not mentioned or not even discussed at once also. The African slaves in America, they were even facing a more worst condition, that is, they were denied personal liberty. They were not equal, that is, rationalization. Slavery became a part of their own social system. The black peoples, they were considered inferior to the whites, and that's why the blacks were generally sold or purchased as slaves to carry out the physical work. But it was till the year 1890. After that, in the decade of 1920s, that is in the 20th century, things, they started improving for the native people of the USA and Canada. While Americans, they felt sympathetic for the natives in the USA, the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934 gave natives in reservations the right to buy land and take loans. So the natives, they were also given this opportunity. They can go for loans, and they can modify, or they can use that loan for starting up their own enterprise or business. Also, in the 1950s and 60s, the US and Canadian government, they thought of ending all special provisions for the natives in the hope that they would join the mainstream society, but it didn't took place. In 1954, in the Declaration of Indian Act, a number of natives were witnessing to accept the citizenship of USA. Also, American President Abraham Lincoln, he un this social evil, and he played a key role in the abolition of slavery.